A judge sentences a man to 6 months in prison after he hid the body of a murdered Rockford rapper.
Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, this is going to be one of the most interesting, confusing, and pretty much, I don't know, diabolical, cryptic, weird stories that I'm going to tell today, man. Or probably even this year. Now, there's a rapper by the name of EBE Bandz. Now, some of you might be familiar with EBE Bandz because he did a couple of Vlad interviews when he was bubbling. I want to say like back in 2016, 2017, and dude was really doing his thing. I mean, despite his appearance, and you can tell he's a little different than a lot of other drill rappers. I'm not going to harp on the point that other people would point out, but for all intents and purposes, everybody said that EBE Bandz was a real one. Now, EBE Bandz' other nickname is AKA Billy the Kid, and who he was associated with is a testament to everything, man, that you would think about a drill rapper of his stature. You know what I'm saying? Like his street affiliations or whatnot were legend above everything else, because prior to anybody else's knowledge, he's the only Caucasian guy to be or to get that type of verification from the streets like that. Now, I'm talking about EBE Bandz in past tense because back in 2019, he lost his life. And it was a big murder trial. But before that, there was a situation where he was missing for a while. Now, before we get into all the specifics and talk about the latest news that came out today about one of the murder suspects, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And man, let's get it. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about EBE Bandz just a little bit, man. And we're going to discuss his murder trial, man. The trial for his murder, man, which is a sad situation, man. It's crazy how this thing went down. And man, just for those of you who are not constant or consistent drill fans and you haven't been following drill since back in 2013, EBE Bandz popped in 2015. And he was the paradox or the opposite of what was going on with Slim Jesus. There was a rapper by the name of Slim Jesus who was getting a lot of publications, a lot of time in the news and stuff like that because he was a Caucasian drill rapper. Now, primarily, drill rap is like 99% African American. You know what I mean? And Slim Jesus broke down that stereotype. But he did it in a way where nobody really took him seriously. They never thought he was really about what it is. The rap game was a little different. You could still get by and rap without being about what you rap about. You know, it's kind of evolved to where it is now. Like a lot of people talk about the fact that rappers today, you know, we need to go back to where I've heard major popular publications for hip hop say, hey, we got to get back to where rappers fake everything about their lyrics. But we got to this point from a build up in drill rap. And at that point, man, when Slim Jesus popped, it was so evident that he wasn't about what he was about. EBE Bandz was a breath of fresh air. Now, EBE Bandz, despite being Caucasian, was really about what he rapped about for the most part, allegedly, man. Now, I can kind of say this a little bit more blatantly because he's deceased, right? But all respects given in this video. But dude was legit about what he was about, and he ran into a situation where the rumor is that he ended up getting into it with some guys that he tried to pretty much snake out or slime out, man. He was about sliming out cats before it was even popular to slime cats out. And the cats that were arrested and are later connected to his death was a guy by the name of William Arzate and MANUEL Ramirez. Now, MANUEL Ramirez, we're going to talk about him in a second. But I just want to make sure you guys get a clear understanding of who EBE Bandz was. Now, for all intents and purposes, EBE Bandz was certified in them streets. He comes from what he claims is so out of the realm of having anybody Caucasian in it. It's crazy, man. I mean, there's roots to the back in the 60s, 70s, that time. You know what I mean? And I hate to say the exact organization, so I'm not going to do that regardless. I never do that. But man, you guys, anybody who's a drill fan will understand what I'm saying and what I'm talking about. They don't know right off the bat, like what organization I'm talking about. And EBE Bandz was a legitimized member of that. So man, it says a lot. It says a lot. That says a whole bunch. And what's crazy is there's a lot of videos that talk about EBE Bandz' death and the handling of the situation and how he ran into these two guys who ended up being on trial for his murder. Now, it said that it was pretty much a drug deal that was gone bad. We'll say that much, right? To keep it 100% honest, man, it was said that EBE Bandz tried to slime out these two dudes who, if you look at their mugshot, and I'll even put the comparison picture up here, it was two people that he thought he could slime out. And sometimes, like what they said in training day, sometimes you think it's a nobody, it's a somebody. You know what I mean? And that's what happened, because according to reports, and this is according to every news source that you can think of, that the guys who took EBE Bandz' life killed him with a baseball bat. And before he died, they set his body ablaze, man. Like they lit him on fire. So a horrific way to go out, man. And the two guys that were on trial for that, were accused for that, were later arrested, man. It didn't take much. When you're talking about burning, you're talking about all this, a baseball bat, there's so much physical evidence and all that, it's crazy. Now, what's popping in the news today is the fact that one of these guys only got 180 days in jail. Like, for hiding his body, if you can believe that, man. This is crazy, man. So let me play a little bit of this news report.
23-year-old Manuel Ramirez pleaded guilty to one charge of concealment of a homicidal death. He will serve a 180-day sentence.
Yes, like you heard in that news report, man. So dude basically, man, got 180 days and then a year of like probation or something like that for hiding a body. You can't make this up. This is crazy, man. So, I mean, I don't know anybody else in the world who would get that deal. So, I don't know what's going on behind there. But I do know, man, that EBE Bandz will be greatly missed. Now, before all this happened, EBE Bandz, there was a missing notice that went out because his family, friends, and homeboys were looking for him. And they could not find him. And that's when they found him at this residence at this suburban county. And it was crazy that this took place, man. It goes to show that sometimes, man, you can't take anybody lightly. No matter what they look like, how corny, if they look like a goofy, you just can't take them lightly. You still got to treat everybody and everything as a threat sometimes, especially if you're living in that life. Now, that doesn't go for anybody who's living, in a regular life, living your day to day. That would be some paranoid activity or something like that. But for EBE Bandz, man, this was definitely a fatal mistake and a sad situation, man. And that's not to condone anything that took place, because this is a black eye for hip hop always, anytime a rapper who's successful loses his life. Now, so far, man, a lot of people are going online and they're upset about how dude didn't get that much time for hiding EBE Bandz' body. But, I got to say, what do you guys think, man? Do you think that dude should have got more time? Or do you think that, man, if you're living that life or whatnot and you put it in the justice system's hands, it is what it is? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button. And make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.